Hey, hello everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Bader Show. This is episode 471. I'm your host, Mark Bader. And another week, another guest. I'm excited to bring him on. NCAA All-American at Iowa State, currently at Oklahoma State. Let's talk to Casey Swiderski. Casey, thanks for joining us today, man. How are you?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Doing well.
For sure. That's great. Really, I kind of want to, there's a lot of things to talk about, but I want to hear just, there's a lot of guests, your background story. How'd you get involved in wrestling? How old were you? Were you any good from the start?
Oh man. So I was, your typical 5-year-old kid running around, playing in the dirt, stuff like that. Brought home the flyer. My dad was just a hardworking blue collar guy, and we brought home the flyer, and went went and tried it. And we were surrounded in Dundee, Michigan, a small town, hard nosed guys, and we kind of just started off wrestling, and my dad saw that we could probably run away with this. And my dad's a hard nosed guy, and he's a winner. So we decided that we were going to go all in, and we started at Dundee and found Scotty Burnett in that path, and went from there. So I grew up wrestling. It started with me, Braden Davis, just beating the brakes off each other in the Dundee room, crying, like just going at it, and you see the same fire he's got, I got. It ain't, that's what we're about. So, yeah.
Did you play other sports or well, one, it seems like for 4 years old or 5 years old, it was just like you knew this is what you love, but was there other sports that you did?
I played football in 7th grade because my dad was a running back in high school, and he thought I could go score touchdowns. So I think I scored a couple touchdowns. I was a running back,
Uh,
making weight. We'd go to football practice and then go drive an hour and a half to Sandusky, Ohio, to the dog pound and with Eric Burnett. So we go to football practice and then drive there on Mondays.
and have wrestling practice afterwards?
Yeah, yep,
That's intense, man. Were the wrestling practices
yeah.
intense or were they like
Oh
laid
yeah.
back and like skill related? No, they were hard nosed
Oh,
practices.
when I was in 7th grade, we were starting to, that's definitely in a spot where we were looking for the next level and reaching out to the next club or whatever it was, and we was with the Burnett's and surrounding ourselves with all those guys. A lot of the Ohio guys that you see, the big names in Ohio. I was surrounded with, and I watched. It was funny. I wrestled Dylan D'Amelio in the blood round the year I All-American, and man, I watched him. Like, I looked up to him at one point. He was older than me, and I looked up to him, and he was 4-time state champ and was always at Scotty's. It's like somebody I looked up to, and then I had to wrestle him in the blood round. So, and that was a war. So yeah, he was always Lotto, Ohio. Trained a Lotto in Ohio.
All right, I'll kind of want to go and come back to where we are, but let's jump to that all blood round. Like, give me your mindset going into that. I'm wrestling this guy who I've looked up to, and maybe pedestal or whatever you want to call it, right? When you were younger and he's older, and man, how do you get
Yeah.
ready for that match and put the ego or whatever you want to call it aside?
I wrestled him actually that year at the CKLV in a questionable match. It was like 13-10 or something. Some questionable swipes, but and we went at it in that match. And I knew what he had, and I knew what he knew what I had. Going into that match, I was just like, it's gonna, I think I remember my coach said, expect a dogfight, expect a war, and show up and be ready. And I was, and I had been in the blood round the year before, lost in the blood round the year before, and I was like, I just had clarity, and I was good. I was like, no big deal, just expect it, and you'll come out on top. And I did. It was a overtime match. I got away right away, and he went neutral, and he actually buried a double leg on me right on the edge. And I remember I come underneath, double unders, slipped his, like, it was a war. I can't ever find the match either. I can never find that blood round match to watch it, but it was an absolute. It was nuts.
You remember like vivid details from that match? It sounds like.
Oh, that match. I know some details. I know I was about to lose my mind because I didn't get a takedown, and we threw the brick, probably just so I could get my marbles back. But yeah, that match, I remember being on the edge of the mat, like in a double leg, like back like this, bound my arms underneath them, got out of it. Like, I mean, it was, I left it all out there. I got the monkey off my back, you know. So, and the year before I had, just kind of like freshman season, ups and downs, figure yourself out. And then when the lights come on in March, I remember I just started saying, F it, let's just go be you and wrestle. And I wasn't even seeded at the Big 12s that year. Had to avenge a bunch of losses that I had, like Happel, and uh, I just went to the national tournament, made it to the national tournament, and got to the blood round, and I was winning 3-2 with like 50 seconds left. Started thinking about winning instead of scoring, and got put in a freaking Parker Filius from Purdue. Put me in a little shuck by and pinned me. That was tough, but it was cool.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yep.
glad that you got the monkey off the back, because if that's where
Oh
we're
yeah.
ended, it'd be a tough going. And obviously, you've got time ahead of you. And one thing, like, I don't, you've got like an attitude or a swagger to you, and I feel like you probably know that. I see you raise your eyebrow because you recognize it. Is this from the 4-year-old with your dad? Is that has this always been the way, or is it kind of got there? Or one day, when did Casey have?
I mean, yeah, I was actually talking to my dad about it yesterday because he's in town right now. He's in training dogs. He's a dog trainer for
Okay.
Labradors, and he's like, yeah, man, my older brother, I actually have a brother who wrestles in the NCAA too. He wrestles for Central Michigan. Um,
Okay.
and, I got my butt whooped by him. And I'm not talking about in the wrestling room. I'm talking about like in the yard, in the basement, wherever, and it was just like, take no crap. Even if I got my butt whooped by my brother or whoever it was that day, that my dad always wanted me to get my butt whooped in the room. Get your butt whooped and then figure out how to not get your butt whooped, and then trying to find the next guy that can whoop your butt. So I just, even if I got my butt whooped, I'd be like, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about, and, we was just raised by like, my dad he didn't wrestle. I mean, he wrestled growing up a little bit, but he was just he told me about all those old stories fighting growing up and stuff like that. Sometimes you just got to make it a bar fight. Sometimes you sink down to it and it's just a bar fight, and we were just surrounded by a bunch of dads that just like, that was what it was, and they figured their kids could fight. And if they had the toughness and the fight in them, then they could learn wrestling, so.
It feels like a good breeding ground, like I don't know, it's probably a hard nosed dad and a brother and maybe his friends that are going to push you around and beat you up, and like,
Yeah,
you're fine.
yeah,
Made you tougher,
yeah. My
right?
brother stopped fighting me around. I think the last time, he's gonna watch this and laugh, but I remember the last time we did fight, but he ain't fought me since. But we have respect for each other now. I mean, yeah, it was just what it was. We would fight in practice rooms, and it's just get tough or die, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Fair to say you keep that chip, that edge with you today.
yeah, I think I brought it up. It's part of me. It's who I am. If that's coming out, that means I'm probably doing well. I'm in a good headspace. People say, oh, he's got to get his mind back in that match. I was listening. He's got to get. No, my mind's good now. I'm in a really good spot. So if that's going on, then I'm probably doing well. So I couldn't hold back. It has nothing to do with Jacob Frost either. Nothing to do. I love Jacob. I love the Frost boys. They're awesome. They got a good mother. They're awesome. They got a great family. I have nothing bad to say about the Frost Bros. It's just how it was that day. I think I went back to Ames to go get some of my stuff in the summertime, and Jacob, the Frost Boys, had actually moved into where I lived, and
Mm.
I had to grab some of my stuff. And I seen Jacob. I told him, I said, you're my boy today, but you know, February 1st in Gallagher, I'm gonna hate you. So, and that's just how it is, man. It's how it's got to be. Who I am on the mat is not who I am off the mat whatsoever, to be honest. So, um,
What did Jacob say when you
that's
had that come when you came to get your stuff and said that?
he said. I know. He said, I know how
Yeah,
it's gonna be. So, and we'd wrestle in the room too, so he knows. So
mhm,
everybody knows. It's just what it's about sometimes.
sure. All right, let's get to like what led you to Iowa State, what your recruiting process was like, and why you ultimately decided to go there in the first place.
So I went to Iowa State. I uh, I was at Virginia Beach, I think, one time, and I ended up committed there. I was like, I don't know. I was just a kid from Dundee, Michigan, that like was doing all right, and schools were calling me, and I was like, oh, Brent Metcalf's from Michigan and Iowa State. Uh, let's bring back Iowa State. Let's bring back the Cyclones. And I just said, screw it, let's go there. And I went there, and I didn't look back. And we had the number one. I think we had the number one recruiting class that year in 2022, right?
I believe
One or
so. I
two,
know it was
one
very
or two.
very solid recruiting
So
class.
and we had a sweet recruiting class, and let's go do it. And things didn't work out, but whatever. We are here.
Okay.
We are. We're doing all right. So.
Yeah. I guess ultimately, like, why didn't things work out? What led you to somewhere else?
Uh,
Ultimately, Stillwater.
so you just have to like uh, look at everything. I guess if you're injured every year, it's hard to be your max potential when it matters in March. That was a factor. That's not even the only thing. That's a factor, and you got to. Sometimes my dad always told me. So my dad's a dog trainer, and he talks about getting your butt whooped, whatever. You got to seek the best. You got to seek the best. And kind of looked at it like, man, Oklahoma State's doing this right now, and you got David Taylor over there right now. Are you gonna not do this and think about how you didn't do it? Go do that. Make a sacrifice, leave some of your best buddies and relationships you made with coaches, and I just didn't want to have that thinking about that 10 years from now. Like, look, Oklahoma State's won the Nationals 8 years in a row now. You could have been a part of the first two, you know, but you weren't. So I thought about it like that, and I made that decision in a long, stretched out period of time, because I was injured and I watched from the outside in a little bit, and I made a decision when had a clear head, and I don't regret my decision whatsoever, and I don't have any bad blood to Iowa State whatsoever. All my guys, we were in the locker room, hugged a couple of my guys, shook the coach Dresser's hand, told him good luck. Like, obviously, when you get out there, things change. It's me or you. So what do you expect? That's Swiderski. That's me. That's who I am. I'm gonna wrestle like that. I'm gonna go take your lunch money.
Yeah,
So
yeah. All right. Okay, so and I was, getting ready to talk to you today, so I was watching some old interviews, and after the All Star, you said something like, "You're referring to what people are saying." And what were
yeah.
you referring to? People think I'm
Well,
racist.
I I read I read things on the internet, and I listen, and I don't ever I don't ever put anything on Twitter or nothing, because I rather just let the success talk. It's a lot easier to do it like that. It's a lot easier, and it looks better for sure.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I just listened to people saying that I left because I couldn't start, or these guys were beating me every year. And the only reason I did start was because this guy went down. Okay. I First of all, I never lost to Jacob Frost ever. I wrestled him off, I think, 3 times. I never lost to him. I never lost. I lost Etchman and a wrestle off, in a very controversial wrestle off, actually. But we made a decision as a team, and that we would be a better team, because that's what you do. For the team, we'd be a better team if Etchman was at 41 and Swiderski was at 49. So that's what we did that year.
Uh-huh.
We made each other better. We made our team better with iron sharpens iron. You hear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it was. If people said that I couldn't start, the room was too crowded. Okay, sure. Let's. What about now? And that's what I said on the mat that day. What about now? You know. let's hear about that now. That's just what I was saying. So and maybe Iowa State's room that year, those years still is like that's what they're about. Like they want to have competition in the room. That makes a good team. It does. It's not wrong. It's not wrong at all. And maybe I was surrounded. I like to say this. I said this the other day. We were surrounded. We were a bunch of dogs in that room. And I kind of made the choice to go be surrounded by a bunch of wolves. You know, wolves eat dogs. So it's like you're Robadu. If you can learn to finish on Vega, you're going to be able to finish on the guys that you can to win big matches. You wrestle, you hand fight and bang with freaking Robadu, who's number what in the country. You know what he's capable of. And what are you going to do? What do you expect's going to happen? So that is true. The competition in the room is good, super good. You either sink or swim. Everybody wants to complain about it, and it's everywhere. Sink or swim.
All right. When you finally do show up in Stillwater, you start becoming a part of the team, working out, getting to the workouts, getting to the room. What kind of things stood out to you, right? You said I'm trying to move to a better place to get, just incrementally better, and this is the spot. What did you see? What did you like about this training environment, this program, right when you got there?
Um, it's just fun, and it's like I made the choice. There's things I knew I needed to fix in my wrestling, and that I need to put myself in instead of shying away from a scramble, lean into it. So when you get there, you know what to do. It's not so like things like that. Things that I think I definitely struggled with was like getting into a scramble instead of trying to learn how to not be there ever because you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. Learn to be comfortable when you do get there, and I just made that choice. Like being uncomfortable is one of the hardest things to do, and if you can get uncomfortable and find the comfort and uncomfortable, what are you gonna learn? What are you gonna figure out? So that's something I did, and it was a big move for me. It was a big deal for me to go do, and I don't regret it. And there was a time that you ain't figuring it out, you know, and you just keep showing up. And you never lose sight. You never lose sight. Continue to trust yourself. Let things work out, and now we're trending up a little bit right now, but it means nothing. What happened Sunday means just about nothing. But was it fun? Yeah, sure.
Um, what also probably right now means nothing is that, they all start doesn't technically count. You lost like your first four matches of the year. Maybe that's what you were referring to just a minute ago. It ain't
Yeah,
going so well, and it's easy to look back now and be like, okay, well, whatever, it's just a pocket. But after the lost two, three, four, is there part of you that's like, the hell's going on?
yeah, yeah. I was like, there was. I was, you think at night you got to go to bed, and you're like, wow, what's going on? You know, are you? Do you got it still? Like that goes in your mind for sure. But you got to beat that talk. You got to beat that talk. Uh, and you just keep showing up. You don't quit. You just keep showing up, and that's all my coaches told me. Keep showing up. We believe in you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep hitting reps. Come back. You're all right. And some of those guys I lost to, which I don't. I respect those guys, but think, okay, those are the guys I got to wrestle in the quarters, semifinals. Sure, I can separate. I can figure out how to win those ones for sure. So, and I know a couple of those guys definitely don't want to wrestle me again. But yeah, I'm in a good spot. This is the best spot to be right now, Oklahoma State.
Um, Man, the Iowa State comes to town last weekend. What kind of nerves, emotions, feelings, right? Emotions did it is like, especially since there's not bad blood. These guys are my boys still, but it's February 1st, so F you guys.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
explain that,
I
how that felt.
I I, I had to just stay. It doesn't matter. You just got to stay clear and nothing changes. David told me that I think the day of, but he knew I was doing good. He knew I was going to take care of it. He just told me don't let anything get in your way. This means Doesn't matter if it's Iowa State. It doesn't matter. Just go do what you do in the room. Go and have a clear head. And sure, was I gonna go out there and make a statement? Was that on my mind? Yeah, absolutely. Still is. I'm still got a lot of things I got to do. You know, I just I know my potential, and I know what I'm capable of, and I'm just doing my best to beat the next. I'm just trying to be the better version of myself every day. You know, that's it.
Sure. Uh, you know, how have you changed, if at all, off the mat, living in Stillwater, being around this program?
Oh, not much. Same old. Get outside, get some sun. You know, uh, go hunting, touch ground. I mean, geez, I don't get outside, man. It's good. It's good for you. It's good for your. It's too many. I just grew up doing that stuff. Like when I got grounded when I was a kid, I was grounded from going outside. You know, uh, I don't play video games. I don't really watch too much TV or nothing like that. I just like to be outside and be, find things to hunt and be. I got a dog. We got the dogs. Obviously, my dad's a dog trainer, so we're training dogs, running dogs, just being a good old boy. Pretty much.
What do you hunt?
I hunt whatever. Turkey, ducks, geese, pheasant. Pheasant hunting's really fun. That was tough to leave in Iowa. Really good pheasant hunt. Really good pheasant hunt. You could just go out, on an off day with your dog and just you and your dog. Nothing better than that. Just go kill a limit of pheasants, you and your boy, and it's fun. You learn a lot about yourself. Like everybody wants to take videos, and sometimes you just watch it happen, man. It's cool. Just be present. Nobody else needs to see it but you. And
Yeah.
this one time actually, I was pheasant hunting. You can hunt the ditches in Iowa, and I was pheasant hunting these ditches, and the mail lady come down the road, and my dog's on point on this rooster, and I just told the mail lady, I said, just hold on, watch this. You got to watch this. And just gravel road way out in the middle of nowhere in Iowa. And the bird gets up, and I shoot him. I hit him in the butt. They call it. I ass packed him, whatever. And he come when you do that, they go far. They'll die, but they'll go real far and like 200-300 yards they'll die. And I sent my dog, and he'd come back with the bird, and I'll never forget it. It was the coolest thing. The mail lady watched the whole thing. It was cool. So
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
All right, we're clearly into the kind of the home stretch, right? It's February, home stretch of the season. As you think about the national tournament, right? You've been there and came up short in the blood round. You came up there and you won the blood round. I don't know. Is there anything you can take from those experiences into this season? You're like, okay, I've been there once. I came up short. Been there second time. I did something, but I didn't
Well,
do all of it.
I ain't gonna be in the blood round. I don't want to be in the blood round. I want to just whoever's in front of me in the first round, wrestle him, and then the next guy, and just be present and match by match, score by score, point by point. And I know I can leave Cleveland, Ohio on the 21st on the top step. I know that for a fact. And I know we got a bunch of guys on our team that can do the same thing. So, yeah, I've been there, and this year it's clear, what needs to be done, and I'm in a good spot, and I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun. I'll be pretty close to home, so hopefully some guys come down, and yeah, it's going to be a fun national tournament. I've been there. The national tournament's hard, but it ain't. You don't have to make it bigger than it is. We wrestle in front of I don't know how many 13, 10,000 people. We run out, smoke, red carpet. That's maybe a little bit of the magic. You've been there before, so
Yeah. Well, definitely exciting. Yeah, Dundee's is way southern Michigan, right?
yeah, Southeast Michigan. I'll do the
Yeah.
traditional Michigan deal for you, right there.
Here.
There you go. Right, roughly.
Awesome. Okay. Good. I'll do my best. Okay. Moving on. I gotta feel like little different games we like to play in the back half of the show. Let's get started. The first one's called Sweat It Out. This is 5 questions designed to make you sweat. So I'm trying to stump you. Some easy,
All right,
some hard. I don't know. Is you ready to go? All right.
ready.
Casey, you attended Iowa State and Oklahoma State. Which school was established first?
Oklahoma State.
Iowa
100%.
State.
Really?
Iowa State, 1858. Oklahoma State, 1890. All
That's right.
right.
Actually,
You got this. We'll keep moving along. Iowa State has had 6 individuals who went on to win Olympic gold for Team USA. Does Oklahoma State have less, more, or the same?
jeez,
These
that's
are tough.
John Smith. That's Oklahoma State.
That is correct. Oklahoma State has who won 8 individuals who won gold for Team USA. Okay, Oklahoma State question again. Can you name the last 3 NCAA champions, wrestling NCAA champions for Oklahoma State?
From Oklahoma State.
Uh-huh.
Last 3 be Hendrickson, Hamidi, and last 3 Hendrickson. Oh, Hendrickson, Hamidi. What am I doing?
No, this is okay.
Drawing a
I
blank.
tested this in the office yesterday, and there were blanks as well. It's not just you.
Hendrickson, Hamidi, and
It's kind of a little screwball here. It's a little curveball potentially.
wait. Was it Chris Perry?
No, it was after Chris Perry.
No, it was after Chris Perry. So it was
This person still competes in the NCAA today.
no. Oh, jeez. I know who it is. It's Ferrari.
It's kind of a screwball, right? Because you don't think of him as Oklahoma State, but it's absolutely Ferrari. All right, after missing the first one, we got the next 2. Okay. True or false? Oklahoma State has won more NCAA wrestling team titles than all Big Ten teams combined.
That's a stretch. I know Oklahoma State's won the most, so I'm gonna say true.
That is not true. Oklahoma State has 34. Everybody in the Big Ten combined, I think, has 40 or 43 or something like that.
That was a
Iowa's
stretch.
got. I thought you had it when you said it's a stretch.
Yeah.
And now this last one, this is like super arbitrary. Ames, Iowa versus Stillwater, Oklahoma. Which city is bigger based on square mileage?
Oh, I can Stillwater all day.
Dang, yeah, but barely. But you nailed it. All right. What do I have?
Really?
30.31 square miles for Stillwater. Ames is 27.92. So
That's right.
very close, but you crushed it. All right. Casey, I like this one. Wins. We call this one wins and whoopins. So like
Okay.
every match you wrestled from 4 years old till the other one just the other day in Gallagher. One win that stands out as memorable. Doesn't have to be your best win. It can be Pee-wee rivalry. It can be a big comeback. And any like whatever win that stands out in your head from any age. And then one ass whooping. We've all been beat up and whooped. And we don't ever want to talk about it, but I'm going to ask you to share it with us. One win, one whooping. You can do either one first.
One win. Oh, jeez. Let me think of a win. A good win from back in the day. Let's see. Maybe you guys can find this match somewhere. FloWrestling.
Is it the blood round you're talking about?
No, I don't even think about wins in college too much, but high school. You know, I'll go whooping first. I'll go
There we
whooping. I got whooped by my brother. So we did a Dundee team camp. We went to Ohio State, and you know how they do the team duels and stuff at those team
Sure.
camps sometimes.
Yep.
Bring high school team, they do a duel. I wrestled. So we split our Dundee team in half, and I wrestled my brother, who's bigger than me, by a year. And my dad was my dad was the coach of his team, and then our high school Tim Roberts. My high school coach was the I was on his team. I was with Tim, and my brother's coaching my dad's coaching my brother on his team, and I had to wrestle my brother, and he beat me, and it was like the worst day of my life. And my dad made fun of me, and I cried, you know. But yeah, I'll never forget that. He still talks about it to this day. Uh, my brother does too, of course. But my favorite win. Uh, I don't even I don't even want to say anybody's name. That's just who I am. But I don't even want to give anybody respect of telling them that I beat them. Uh, I'll just I'll say I beat me and Nasir Bailey used to wrestle a lot actually back in the day when we were little, and I remember I went to overtime with him at the Grappler Fall Classic. I went to overtime with him, and I remember before the match I was underneath the bleachers. I was so mad because yeah, this is a good story. Michigan, in Michigan State were playing football, and it was the year that they muffed that punt.
Okay.
Remember that? And we were watching
Vaguely.
at the tournament. I think it was Michigan State. We were watching that tournament. Michigan muffed that punt and lost the game right there at the last second. And I was so mad. I had to study wrestle him, so I wrestled really good, and we went to overtime and did that, and I won the match. And we'd wrestled a couple times. He beat me the one year at Tulsa. My Tulsa. If you go look back at my Tulsa brackets, look at the names in my Tulsa brackets. It was nuts. Like I wrestled Figueroa the one year. Crookham was a winner. Williams was in it. Carter Young was in it. Jeez, there was Antrell Taylor was always winning our brackets. Uh, the guys that I grew up with were, they're doing well right now. We're doing pretty decent.
Heck
So
yeah. All
yeah,
right. All right. That's a couple good ones. We'll move on. All right, Casey, this is simple. Do you have an all-time favorite wrestler? One all-time favorite wrestler of yours?
I grew up watching a lot of Dake, Taylor, Burrows, like everybody. A lot of that. Um, so a lot of the Russians. Uh, Satiev is really good. Bela Glazov's really good. My favorite wrestler to watch and kind of emulate a little bit be like John Smith was a gangster too. Um, I'd say I would say growing up, I actually was not a David Taylor fan. I was more like I was more like wanted to be like Dake just because of my body style and how he wrestled with a lot of pop and throws and stuff like that. So I'd say Dake was probably my favorite and David and Burrows, but I'd say Dake was my favorite
Okay.
growing up all the time.
All right.
But
We'll make sure to
yeah,
let Coach Taylor know before practice today.
yeah,
I'll tease. All right. This will be on the internet though, so he can see. All right, last one. This is a new game. I'm gonna try this one. You'll be the first person we do this with. This is called one word. So I'm gonna call out like a name or something, and you just doesn't have to be the first thing that pops in your head, but I just want one word to describe whatever I say. You got it?
okay.
Real easy. Start with David Taylor.
Magic,
Uh, Gallagher Iba Arena.
electric.
Kyle Dake, since he's your favorite wrestler.
Oh, he's not my favorite wrestler. He's
Or
his
or,
favorite
or,
wrestler.
or growing up. Yeah, these guys are looking at you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'd say bomb.
That's a good one. Hilton Coliseum.
Uh, I'll say historic.
Good one. Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Say the motherland.
Ames, Iowa.
Ames,
How about
Iowa.
Ames?
Dead.
David Carr. We just got a couple more. David Carr.
David's awesome. I would say next.
Jack's Forest.
Wizard.
Okay. Awesome. That's great. I think we made it through all of it. Casey, it's been freaking fantastic. I know the guys are maybe
Hey.
showing up, getting ready for
Yeah, thanks
practice,
for having
but
me on.
I want to give you the final word. Say anything you want to say about anything. Let people know anything more about who you are or what you're about or just anything.
Go outside. Oh, when things get hard, just keep showing up, and when it gets hard, just smile. It's fun. Everything you want's on the other side of hard. And go Cowboys.
Everything you want on the other side of the heart. I love that. We'll end it on that, man. Casey, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to watch the rest of the season play out, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. All right, folks, and that's going to do it. Another episode in the books. Thank you to Casey Swiderski, and we will see you all next time. Thanks. Bye.